Hello traders, FXPIPCOLLECTOR here. Today is Tuesday, August 1st, and welcome to today's live stream. Thanks for coming. I do appreciate the support. Definitely like and subscribe if you have not done so already. So today we are here for one reason, which is the dollar news that we got coming out for a little while. And so at 3 o'clock in about 15 minutes, we have PMI news for the dollar, ISM manufacturing. We have job openings for the dollar, and we also have this ISM manufacturing prices. So we definitely got some pretty decent news coming. It's not a big spectacular news event. It's not like a FOMC or something along those lines, but it definitely isn't too bad of a news event. Tonight we also have unemployment rate and unemployment change for the Kiwi, so definitely pay attention to that later on if you do trade the Kiwi pairs. So today we're just going to do like a quick 30-minute or so live stream, and we're going to look at the dollar pairs, see if we can figure out what's going to happen for the news. So, I'm sure as some of you probably have already noticed, I definitely did change my analysis a little bit on the dollar index. I still think this is a correction, and I still think the weekly and the monthly time frame possibly have ended a big wave C, and that we are possibly trending down. But with this three-way pattern down right here, we really can't ignore that is a three-way pattern. That is an ABC pattern right there. ABC, three waves down. Also, this right here is also a three-way pattern in my eyes. This right here is also a three-wave ABC pattern. So this right here, the move up is definitely a trend. As you can see, that is for sure a trend. This move up right here is definitely a trend. And then this move up right here that we're currently in definitely looks like a trend. So when you have a trend followed by a correction followed by a trend, that's normally an ABC, but then when it makes another three-way pattern, that's usually a wave D, and then what comes after wave D is actually usually a wave E. Now if this really is forming that ABCDE pattern, then it probably is going to go up, and it probably is going to take out the high of wave A. So that's a pretty good move to the upside since we are on the daily time frame. Let's throw our Fibonacci out here one more time so we can see where a likely place for this wave E to go. It looks like the 50% is probably going to be the place, because I think it probably is going to take out the high of wave A. I bet this 50% level is going to be the most likely place for this to end up. I think we're probably in a 1, 2, 3, and it's probably eventually going to end up looking something like that to finish the wave E before it ends this correction and potentially ends up continuing the downtrend. So that definitely does seem like the most likely thing to happen at today's news. Or not at today's news, it's not going to do all that today, but I think today we'll have to see what happens today. So let's go down to the sort of time frames. Now I still have this ABC on here because there's still a possibility that this move up is possibly a correction to this move down. I am definitely starting to think that it most likely isn't. This right here is definitely a trend, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with an ABC in the middle, and then this right here is definitely a trend. So if you have a trend, an ABC, and then a trend, and then a big impulsive turn, that is pretty much always an ABC correction. That's an ABC pattern right there. So I do think that we've already ended this ABC. I actually think I'm prepared to remove this unless today's news causes a really big push down. I think that most likely what we have here is a wave A, is a wave 1, not a wave A, a wave 1. I think this is a correction like a wave 2. I think most likely we're in a 1, 2, 3 of wave 3, and I think this is over the coming days. Probably going to end up eventually going up and making a 3, a 4, and a wave 5 of wave A, like I was showing on the daily time frame. So taking it down to the 1 hour time frame. So 1 hour time frame, it definitely seems to me like this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here, wave 1. This is definitely very, very corrective overlapping pattern. Looks to me like a wave 2. I think this is like a 1 right here, and this is a 2 of 3, like a 1 of 3, 2 of 3. I think we're in a wave 3 of 3 right now, and the only reason we're really probably pulling back is because they're 78%. So I think the trend is up, and I definitely at this point am only looking for longs in an uptrend unless the market gives me a really, really good reason otherwise. So let's step down to a little bit of a shorter time frame to see if we actually got an ABC correction yet, or what kind of pattern we actually have. Now, like I said, this news event is definitely not a big news event. It's kind of you're definitely not a big news event like some other news events we might see for the dollar this coming up week. We do have NFP and a few other really big news events coming out. So right now it definitely looks like a trend. This looks like a trend right here on the 1 minute. Maybe it is a wave A, maybe this is already a wave B, and maybe this is already a wave C. It kind of looks like a little bit too short of a time frame for me, but let's see. Now let's go look at some of these other pairs and see if we can make sense and see what it is that we're looking, because I think there's a good chance the dollar is going to keep going up. Maybe the news today will help it go down more to complete an ABC correction, but I think the dollar is going to go up. So let's go look at the euro dollar. Let's go up to like the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, that 4-hour time frame, this thing is going down. I think the trend is down, and I definitely don't think there's any reason to think otherwise. This looks like a 1, this looks like a 2. I think we're in a wave 3, and I think it's got a decent amount of ways to go to the downside to finish off this wave 3. It may even go down and take out this low. This is probably going to be a big ABCDE on the longer time frames also. Going down to the shorter time frames, let's see, as you go down to the shorter time frames, it does kind of make you think that it is going to go up. But I think that even if it does go up, it's just going to be a correction to the downtrend. I think that most likely the trend is down, and most likely the trend will continue down. So we have to try to see if the news is actually going to cause this to go into a correction, or see if it's going to keep on trending down. The pound dollar, let's go up to the 4-hour. Yeah, the pound dollar, we're not at a fib level. We're definitely not respecting a fib level. We're definitely not breaking any structure. This, to me, looks like a 1. This looks like a 2. I think this is probably a 1 and a 2 of 3, and we're probably going to continue down for a wave 3. So I think that most likely this is going to go down also. So let's see, what's the 1 hour look like on that? Yeah, so we got a little bit of a double bottom right now on the 1 hour. So let's see, it does kind of seem like it is kind of likely that it will go up, but most likely to move up is going to be part of a correction. Maybe today's news will initially cause this to go up, but it's probably just going to be a correction to the downtrend. Going out to the Aussie dollar, the Aussie has been a really good one to be shorting, that's for sure. It seems to me like this is not over either. It seems like it needs to go down more. So I'm definitely still expecting some downside on the Aussie dollar. Kiwi dollar, yeah, I don't think this is an ABC. I really doubt it. We still are within this last move up, but it doesn't look like an ABC anymore. It looks like it's more likely to go down more. Let's see the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason I think this is over. It does kind of look like it wants to go up, but I bet that move up is going to be a correction to the downtrend. Definitely still looking for shorts on that. US dollar Canadian made a big push up today, and that definitely doesn't look like that's over. It still could end up going up to one of these fib levels and turning down, but I don't think it's over yet. Maybe later on in the week at the NFP that we have this week, maybe that's when it will end. It does seem to me like this has more upside potential, so I definitely think I would only be looking for longs on the US dollar Canadian also. And let's see, the US dollar Swiss. Yeah, let's see what this one. This is a little different also. I think this still possibly could be a correction, but it's probably going to be a bigger correction. It's probably going to be maybe like a 78% or a 61.8% fib kind of correction. Maybe do something like that, and then maybe towards the end of the week on Friday or whatever is when it actually will end the correction and go down. 1 hour time frame, yeah, I don't think anything is over. That looks like a 1, 2, 3, so I don't think anything is over. I expect to see more upside. US dollar yen, now most of the pattern we're seeing on the US dollar yen is definitely a yen pattern. It's not so much a dollar pattern. But I do look at this as a trend. I do look at this as an ABC, and I think this right here is a trend. I think we already have the end of an ABC correction, and I believe this is going to continue the uptrend. So today's news may actually help that continue up. It definitely doesn't look like it's over. I don't see any structure break. I don't think there's any fib bounces. I don't see any reason to think it's over. Maybe it will go down a little bit initially, but it seems like the trend is up and that we should be looking for longs in an uptrend for sure. Yeah, the gold, pretty much the exact same story. I still think there's a very good chance this is like a 1 and this is like a 2. This is like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 1, and this is like an A, B, C, D, E of 2. I think most likely we are in like a wave E right now, like an A, B, C, D, E, which is probably going to go down. I'm thinking maybe even beyond the 50. I think it's going to go down to like the 60, maybe even the 78.6 before it actually continues the uptrend. Wave 2s are known for being pretty big pullbacks, so not always, but most of the time a wave 2 does go down to at least a 61, sometimes even a 78%. This is definitely a trend right here. Looks like a wave A. This is like a correction, a B. This is a trend. When you see an ABC correction, if you enter long and then you don't see it make a nice uptrend like this, but instead you see it make 1, 2, 3 waves up and then turn down, you know that you're looking at a wave D and that you're probably now looking at a wave E. And it kind of looks to me like this is more likely to go down to the 78 or maybe even the 61.8 before it really does end this correction and end up continuing the uptrend. So it definitely seems like it's more likely to continue down. So let's see what silver says about it. Because I remember silver really looked like the end of a correction. On silver, this really looks like the end of an ABC correction right here. So that's why I do think this is probably a 1. This is probably someplace in here. It's probably like an A, B, C, D, E also, and then probably make a wave 2, and then eventually go back up and make a wave 3, which really probably will be at the end of the week when we had that NFP news this week. We have, today we have all the PMI news and the job openings news. Tomorrow we got the ADP non-farm. That's definitely not the big one that we're waiting for. But on Friday we got a bank rate for the pound, Thursday, and then on Friday we got average hourly earnings, and we also got NFP, non-farm payroll, non-farm employment they call it. So the news, the dollar is probably going to continue in its direction until Friday is what I would say. So I do expect the dollar is probably going to continue up at the news. Let's go down. Let's see. I really wouldn't be surprised if we started a correction though, because this is not a very big news event. It's already starting to go up a little bit. Let's look at the DXY because that one usually doesn't lag at the news. So, hey Yen, Yen Berry, how's it going today? Hey Rona, hey Car Lover, hey Blessed, how's everybody doing today? Yeah, sorry, today's not going to be a normal day because I do have a Zoom meeting for my premium Patreon members that I got to get to in about an hour. So we're just doing like a 20-minute, 30-minute live stream for the news. See if there's any good opportunities for the news. But tomorrow I'll be back for my normal 1 hour plus live stream, and we'll look at pairs for everybody tomorrow. Today we're definitely just looking at the dollar pairs. We're just checking out the news to see if we can get any entries. So I don't know. I mean, unless this makes a big impulsive move up, like a very big impulsive move up, I don't think that it's over. I think it's going to go up more. But it really looks like it might want to try to end a correction. This kind of looks like an A, B, C, and then up. But the trend is definitely up. I think they very easily could just keep going up. Let's see. We got about 20 seconds until the news comes out, and then we'll see what happens, and we'll reevaluate. Maybe we'll take a quick look at the yen pairs, because the yen pairs do definitely get affected by the dollar news. So we got about 5 seconds until the dollar goes. And here's the news. Oh, a little down. Got a little down movement. Probably a bear trap. We'll see. We are sitting at that 78% fib level on the higher time frames, but I don't know. I mean, I would be really surprised if this just turns into a complete trend reversal. I mean, it definitely is possible, and I definitely do have my Fibonacci here because I am still looking at this as possibly being an ABC correction, but it doesn't really look like an ABC anymore. It looks like a 1, 2, 3, especially on the longer time frames. Probably making a little bit of a bear trap right now. Definitely not a big news event. Like, like some of the other dollar news events that I live stream for, but I figured why not, get on for half an hour and do a quick little live stream with everybody and see if we can figure out what's going on. Dollar's trying to make a little bit of a move up. We got a little bit of the euro dollar, that is. We got a little bit of a double bottom. I bet this is just a correction. I'm going to be watching this afternoon for a short. I bet it's going to go up and start a correction probably for the next few hours, and then later on, maybe tomorrow London session or maybe even Asian session is when it's going to go down. Yeah, kind of the same thing on the pound dollar. I bet this is going to just make an ABC correction and later on continue the downtrend. Aussie dollar barely even moved. I would be stocking the Aussie dollar for a short. The Aussie, I think, is going to be a really good choice to be looking for shorts, and the Kiwi and the Canadian is probably going to be a really good choice for looking for longs. I bet this is going to go down again. What happened with the news? Positive, negative? Honestly, it doesn't really matter to me too much. Negative and negative, right? Yeah. It was actually quite a bit negative on the ISM PMI, and it was pretty negative. It was actually above what they had previously, but it was below what they forecasted. Same thing with this. Same thing in both situations. It's actually better than it was last time on both of these, but it was less than they forecasted, so they called it negative because of that. Which is kind of dumb, I think, because it's better than it was last month. It should be positive in my eyes. But it's less than they forecasted, but what do these guys know? Yeah, look at that. It's not a very big move, is it? That is definitely the start of a correction. I almost guarantee that. I think that we need to be watching this today for more opportunities to trade the dollar long. Look at the US dollar CAD is probably going to be a really good choice. The Kiwi and the Aussie are going to be really good choices for looking for shorts. US dollar Swiss, I think, is going to be a pretty good choice for looking for longs. This one actually made a very, very clear entry today. It might even end up being my clearest entry of the day because look at that. One wave down, 3 waves up, 1 wave down, and then engulfing move to the upside. Your entry could have been right there at the end of that second candle. And that was a very clear entry, and it's been making higher highs, higher lows ever since. I don't even think I still would be in that trade long. This little push down definitely wouldn't have phased me any. Definitely still be looking for longs on that. Definitely still looking for longs on the US dollar yen. Definitely looking for shorts on gold. This is probably going to give us a nice short today too, I bet. I would definitely be watching these. I think it might take a few hours before everything gets ready to trade, but boy. Yeah, the euro yen kind of looks like it made a little ABC correction. That candle right there would have been my entry, 3 waves down, engulfing move to the upside. That one green candle right there engulfed the previous 2 candles after making 3 waves down. That right there is a bread and butter trade for me right there. It's still going up. Pound yen, same thing except for the pound is not quite as strong as the euro, but 3 waves down, impulsive up. It could be a wave 5, but it also could just keep on going, so. The Aussie yen, I don't think I would want to go long on that one. It probably is going to go up again, though. It probably is almost definitely going to be some sort of a correction. It could be a correction. I mean, it definitely could keep going up. The Aussie really does seem to move strong in both directions, so it definitely could go up. Oh, look at the Kiwi yen. 1, 2, 3 ways down. That looked like a long, too, not long ago. Awesome trades. CAD yen berry, I'm sure you're still trading this, 3 ways down. Gotta make some money, buy the new wife a house there. Heck yeah, that's pretty nice. 3 ways down on that one too, wow. Nice yen trades again. Once again, the yen is probably one of the better pairs to trade. Very, very nice. Definitely still looking for longs on all the yen pairs. Dollar pairs, definitely looking, well, depending, I'm looking for longs, shorts on the euro dollar, shorts on the pound dollar, shorts on the Aussie dollar, shorts on the Kiwi dollar, Long on the dollar CAD, long on the US dollar Swiss. Already looks like it wants to go up. Long in the US dollar yen, which I said this would probably be a good choice because the yen is weak and the dollar is a little bit strong. Definitely looking for shorts on that. What's this? Dollar USD ZAR looks like the end of a correction, doesn't it? I think that might be the end of an ABC correction. We even got a break of structure. I'd be waiting for a pullback to get in on that. That's probably going to go up and take out these highs. Seems pretty dang clear, honestly. Oh yeah, definitely. Nice trend back here. Lower lows, lower highs. Actually, a real nice trend. This is an A. This is an A, B, C, a B. That's an irregular wave B right there. This is a trend for the C. Downward downtrend, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, and bam, impulsive up, break of structure, higher low. That's the end of a trend right there for the wave C. I would definitely be looking for longs on that for sure. Yeah, definitely looking for longs on that. Ooh, that was a pretty steep correction, but I definitely think that's a correction too. A, B, C. This is probably at least going to go up and make a double top right here. It kind of looks like it could be like an A, B, C right here too, though. So it's probably just going to go up and make like a double top and then go back down. Singapore dollar. Yeah. I was going to say this is probably an ABC too, which it probably is. ABC. Kind of a weird pattern. Looks like an A. Kind of does look like a dollar. A, B, C. Oh yeah, definitely. That's just almost the same as the dollar. A, 3 waves down for the B, uptrend for the C, 3 waves down for the D, probably an uptrend for the E, and then eventually back down it will go. Yeah, that definitely seems pretty clear, honestly. Nice. So, let's see. Did anything even happen? Boy, it was kind of a slow news event, which I kind of figured it would be. That's definitely not a very important news event. We have to go down to the 5-minute time frame to find these entries. Right there, bam. Break of structure, gonna be a short. Break of structure, go short. Yeah, the pound yen might even be better, honestly. Break of structure, go short. Yeah, definitely. Aussie dollar, this is probably the best choice. 1, 2, 3 waves up, go short. Kiwi dollar. I like the Euro Kiwi. I like the Euro Aussie too. My old mentor, the Euro Kiwi and the Euro Aussie were his favorite pairs. Actually, the Euro Aussie was definitely his favorite pair, but the Euro Kiwi was like one of his second. He traded the heck out of the Euro Aussie and the Euro Kiwi. There's definitely nothing wrong with those pairs at all. I just today we're just doing a short live stream because in about 45 minutes I had to get on for my 2-hour Zoom meeting for my Patreon members. Every Tuesday and every Thursday I do a 2-hour Zoom meeting with my Patreon members where I teach my strategy. We talk about my strategy. We talk about all the things involved and how I trade, how I enter trades. So I definitely want to take a little bit of a break before I start that, so we're going to do a very short live stream today just for this news event. If anybody is interested in joining my Patreon service, it also comes with a 35 video trading course, and then it also comes with the members forecast. Every single morning before the London session, I analyzed all the dollar pairs and all the yen pairs and the JPY basket and the US dollar index every single morning, and then we do at 9:15 in the morning, I do a 20-minute live stream with my members and I teach everybody. That's where I show everybody what direction. You can see Discord on the right, charts on this side. I tell everybody what direction I'm trading in, what time frame I'm trading, what I'm looking for a trade. Every single weekday morning before the London session, we do about a 20-25 minute meeting. And a lot of my members are doing really, really good lately, so I'm really, really proud of everybody, really, really happy for everybody. What do you mean the trend has changed? Yeah, I think there's a good chance we're going to go down and take out this low. I think on the very high time frames, we're definitely going to still go up. But based on the dollar, I think we're probably in a wavy E right now. It's kind of hard to picture this one being an E. Like maybe this right here is an A, B, C, D, and then this goes down and makes an E, and then it probably is going to go back up. But it's really like an expanding, like almost like an expanding flat or something along those lines. On the pound dollar, on the euro dollar, it's actually a little bit more clear that it is an A, B, C, D, E. This is an A, this is a B, this is a C, this is 3 waves up for the D. This is probably going to go down to something like that for an E before it continues the uptrend. So, yeah, I do. My higher time frames analysis has definitely not changed, but my shorter time frame, I do think that this is probably going to go down more, probably take out this low and then go back up. Kind of the same thing with the Kiwi. Kiwi might end up making a higher low. I wouldn't be surprised if it made a higher low and went up, or maybe a double bottom. US dollar Canadian still looks like it's in a correction, but this could possibly be the A right here, and there could possibly be like a hidden B in there, and then we go up for a C and then back down. Something like that I think is very possible. And the US dollar Swiss. I still think there's a good chance that this one could make a lower high too at one of these pairs, at one of these fib levels. Maybe end up doing something like this and then going back down. US dollar yen has definitely ended an ABC correction. I think this is a 1. I think this is a 2. I think we're in a wave 3, and I think this is going to keep on going on the daily time frame. So definitely still looking for longs on the US dollar yen for sure. So if you have not done so already, which I see out of 35 people, 71% of you have already joined my Discord channel. If you have not joined my Discord channel, definitely do so. It's 100% free to join. You never have to pay a dime if you do not want to. It's 100% free to join. We currently have 3,868 members. So definitely join the group. It's 100% free. You never have to pay a dime if you do not want to. You can stay a free member for as long as you like. Oh yeah, look, gold's turning down. Dollar, the UJ is definitely still going up. The US dollar Swiss is definitely going up. US dollar Canadian looks like it's going up. Aussie, the Kiwi and the Aussie look like they're getting ready to go down. Pound down. Euro down. Dollar up. DXY up and dollar up. So, yeah, kind of a slow news day. Definitely not a big mover, but we do have lots of big movers coming. I am going to do a quick live stream tomorrow also. Well, tomorrow's my normal live stream, but I'm going to start it early so that way we can catch this this right here, and we'll probably do like a 90-minute live stream so that way we can look at pairs for everybody. So tomorrow, if you stop back in, I'll definitely look at the Euro Kiwi for you. And Thursday, I will be live streaming for this pound news. That's definitely a big news event for the pound. And then Friday, I'll be live streaming for the NFP, the non-farm employment change. So I've got lots of good news this week. It's definitely a pretty good week for news. Today is probably one of the slower news days because the PMI is not really that big of a deal. Job openings is pretty decent, which it's actually down a little bit, and manufacturing PMI ISM, yeah, kind of a decent one too. So not really not that big of a day for news today. So, and like I said, in about 45 minutes, I will be on my Zoom meeting. So if anybody is interested in joining my Patreon service, in 45 minutes, I'll be starting my twice a week Zoom meeting. So the link for that is on the screen and in the description if anybody is interested in joining. I currently have almost 100 members now, so it's getting to be a really big community. So definitely join up if you're interested in learning more about my strategy. And if you're already a member, then I'll see you in about 45 minutes for our twice a week Zoom meeting. So as always, I will talk to everybody tomorrow for tomorrow's live stream. And as always, I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their day and happy trading.